Don't you let your practice run dry. Only great compassion can nourish sentient beings. Hello everyone, and welcome to today's sharing on a profound passage from the Mahatmya Astra, the Great Treasure Heap Sutra. Part I. Are you practicing a root-severing fake dharma? Lately, I've been reflecting on a particularly stinging question. Why is it that so many people who have studied Buddhism for years and heard 1,000 theories end up becoming increasingly dry and shriveled? Not only does their life lack nourishment, but their character becomes more isolated and judgmental. They find this person unpleasant and that thing annoying. They want to hide away from everything in the name of purity. As a result, they practice themselves into a lonely island. Today, we need to speak the truth plainly. Sentient beings are the very roots of your growth. Many people avoid those they dislike, thinking, "You disgust me. Just stay away. I am pursuing the purity of the clouds." But have you ever wondered what happens if you uproot this tree of practice and move it to the clouds? It dies even faster. Because there is no grounding and no moisture in the clouds, you'll dry up in an instant. Master once said that while sentient beings might not have many likable qualities, they are the roots for Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. If you want to bloom the flower of Bodhi and bear the fruit of enlightenment, yet you insist on severing the roots, moving them away, or keeping your distance, it would be a miracle if any fruit ever grew. Purity in practice is never about physical isolation. If you feel that sentient beings are stinky or dirty and you must escape them, you will quickly bankrupt your spiritual capital. Real wisdom lies in using the water of great compassion to nourish these seemingly unpleasant roots of sentient beings. You might feel like you are working hard to benefit them, but in reality, that moisture and those nutrients are eventually absorbed into your own trunk. If you don't nourish the roots, you cannot grow. Part EI. Why is your giving of Dharma short-lived? We often talk about the giving of Dharma Dina, but when many people share the teachings, there is a certain dryness to it. Why? Because there is no continuous flow of great compassion. You might notice some people say things that sound nourishing at first, but very quickly their words go flat, vanish, or are even forgotten by the speaker. This is because they aren't using the Dharma. The Dharma isn't just for memorization, it is for benefiting others. When you consistently use the water of great compassion to nourish others, you aren't just surviving, you are growing, and you are triggering your own flowering and fruiting. Someone might ask, isn't nourishing sentient beings exhausting? They don't know anything and are full of flaws. Isn't it a torment to lead them step by step? Actually, the exhaustion is a good thing. There is a hardcore spiritual architecture behind this. When you are in a higher position and pull up those below you, you are planting the seed of resonance. In the future, those higher than you, even the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, will pull you up in the exact same way. Take Dharanindra Bodhisattva, the earth holder from the Shurangama Sutra. He didn't do anything fancy. He spent his life fixing roads and leveling the ground. His way of benefiting others was humble and physically grueling. He put others out of suffering without even speaking to them. But when his capacity and vigor reached the breaking point, the Buddha manifested and told him directly how to level the ground the fastest. This is the network effect. You think you are fixing roads in solitude. You aren't. It wasn't just Dharanindra. Avalokiteshvara Bodhisattva was the same. He remained at the first stage for a long time. But his great compassion was so unshakable that the Buddha manifested to teach him the great compassion mantra to benefit the world. When you truly stop looking at the faults of others and focus solely on benefiting them, you are online with the Buddhas. You are building your own foundation. Once that foundation is solid, the explosive achievement is just a matter of time. Part III. Deconstructing the Mahatmya Astra, the schematic map to treasure. Many people hear the word sutra and think it as something mystical and obscure. In fact, Master gave it a very precise modern definition. A sutra is a schematic map. If we compare practice to a treasure hunt, then the Mahatmya Astra is a schematic showing many different treasures. It marks where the treasures are, what they look like, and which paths to take. One particularly important treasure is called breaking the shackles and unlocking the chains. We want to focus on the 20 benefits achieved when a bodhisattva practices the giving of Dharma with a mind of no expectation to benefit sentient beings. What is a mind of no expectation? It means you don't seek fame, profit, or personal rewards. You put the benefit of sentient beings above all else. Master emphasizes that this act of benefiting is the head, it is the source. It encompasses the 3 clusters of pure precepts, the precept of restraint, the precept of accumulating virtue, and the precept of benefiting all sentient beings. When you teach the Dharma simply to lead others from ignorance to knowledge, and from darkness to light, you never have to worry about your own lack of talent. Benefit E. Unborn eloquence will arise, and existing eloquence will never be forgotten. Many people envy those who are eloquent and logical. In truth, if your heart is pure and set on benefiting others, you like a Venkateshvara will align above with the enlightened mind of the Buddhas, and below with the compassionate yearning of all beings. You are connected to the Buddha network. The wisdom of the universe becomes your bandwidth. How could you ever lack eloquence? Benefit R. Constant practice leads to the attainment of dharani. What is dharani? It means total retention or universal connection. Do you want to activate the great compassion mantra or various spiritual powers? Great compassion is the fuel. Without fuel, no matter how advanced your machine mantra or method is, it won't start. If you are selfish, even if you finish the practice, the system will automatically shut down. These high-end tools are designed specifically for those with great compassion. Part IV. You don't need to skyrocket to see growth. The sutra also mentions, with little effort, one can skillfully benefit countless beings. This sounds mystical. How can a tiny bit of effort cause sentient beings to develop great respect and honor? Actually, it is like a plant growing. You don't see it skyrocket in a single second. But as long as you provide the nutrient of great compassion, it is growing every moment. But there is a core condition. You cannot adulterate it. If you teach the Dharma but your heart is calculating the students' money, or you're trying to scrape some profit off them, the effect vanishes instantly. Sentient beings are very sensitive. Your eyes, your expression, and your tone will betray your schemes. Once they realize you are selling the Dharma for profit, they will keep their distance. ILL listen to the teaching, but I have to watch out for this person. In doing so, you sever your connection with them and block your own path. A true bodhisattva might look like they are always losing out in the eyes of the world, but that is exactly where the great wisdom lies. Part B. The secret to no longer fearing death. Finally, let us talk about the ultimate benefit, surpassing all fear of the evil path, and feeling joy at the moment of death. Why do we fear death? Because we fear falling into the lower realms to suffer. But if you spend your life practicing the mind of no expectation to benefit others, you have nothing to fear. Master used an analogy. You are like a balloon being pushed under the water. The deeper others push you down, the higher you will bounce back up. Even if you fall into a lower realm, you aren't there to suffer. You are there to tour or to rescue. Even the ghost kings would have to carry your palanquin and make offerings to you, because you carry the light of the Buddhas and the energy of great compassion. While you are in this worn-out body, by benefiting others, you have accumulated enough capital. For you, death is just like taking off a tattered old rag and putting on a magnificent new outfit for a glorious transformation. In that moment, why would you fear death? You will only feel joy. Conclusion. Don't be being blinded by a single dollar. In practice, the thing to fear most is being blinded by a single leaf. Some people have a single dollar blocking their eyes. They can't see Mount Tai. They can't see the Dharma. They only see tiny, petty profits. But a true practitioner has broken all shackles and chains. Nothing can obstruct their senses. If you feel you can't be thousand-armed and thousand-eyed right now, it is okay. Start with this one mouth and this one heart. Don't be greedy. Don't try to eat 5 dishes at once. Today, if you are practicing teaching to benefit others, focus on that. Tomorrow, if you are practicing giving material aid, focus on that. As long as you maintain the purity of great compassion, without ulterior motives, and without loathing those messy roots, your Bodhi tree will eventually bloom with world-shaking flowers and bear perfect fruit. That is all for today's sharing. May you all connect to the fuel of great compassion and activate all the Dharanis within you. See you next time.